everybody, I'm RENZO Mocs, and welcome back to another mock review. And Merry Christmas Eve, or whenever you decide to watch it. This is my mock review on the Grank and Yib. Now, these characters aren't going to make any sense if you haven't watched my new RENZO Christmas Special, so go check that out first. That's where these characters come from. But if you have seen it, well then, I'm going to be covering these characters for you guys. Anyways, let's just get right into it. So, let's start off with the Grank. Now, that name is obviously just a Grinch, a parody. And I do have one regret after making this guy. I really wish I had used the head that I got from Kasai, the painted Chewbacca head. That would have been perfect for this character. But I just kind of randomly came up with the idea to do a Christmas special this year. Just came completely out of nowhere. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do for the villain? I wanted to make like a Grinch, but he was really incompetent. And then I decided that I wanted to kind of do what Thatch was doing, where he was going to have Krampus, this big epic dude who's going to be able to kick everyone's butts. That's what I was kind of going for with the Grank, but he's just incompetent and stupid. So he's just the less intense version of him. But that was the whole point. I wanted to make him just a pathetic version of Krampus and Kringle, just like the most incompetent villain. Most incompetent Christmas villain, but I say appearance-wise, he's still pretty intimidating for the most part. So you'll notice he's actually pretty big. Like, he's got a lot of, like, mass to him. He's a big, bulky dude, but he's not that tall. I think he and RENZO are on an equal, like, scale. I think RENZO's actually, like, right about here, if not the exact same size as him, which is very strange because he's a very big dude. He looks very intimidating. So you'll see here that I did the legs really weird, just to give it a lot of friction. He's got this weird looking build with the G1 pieces in there, and the skull spiders actually add on for some good armor. Legs can move a pretty decent amount of the way. The feet actually have a lot of range here. They can't move that back that far. That's pretty much the farthest they can go. But the skull spiders actually do move, which help to reorient him. He's got those skull spiders pieces actually helped a lot while doing armor coverage. Like, the hips look a lot better in my opinion. He's got some little like spikes here. He's got the gunmetal rib cage, and he's got some weird like flaps going on back there with more of that seaweed, more of those seaweed pieces. I wanted to give some on his legs, but unfortunately I didn't have enough of them. But he does have two there in the back. He's got this one keeps moving around. He's got two on the arms, and then he's got two on his head, of course. But you can see he's just like built up from the actual torso. And if you look on the back, it's more muscly. There's less color back here, but I don't think it looks very bad per se. The arms can look kind of gross if you move it in a weird position. Like, that looks kind of weird. It looks like you just disconnected his shoulder there. But his arms himself are really long and skinny, which is kind of a look I was trying to go for here. They can't move very far. That's about the highest they can bend, but he's got these big, creepy looking fingers too. Trying to kind of mimic the Krampus look a little bit. He's got a chain too, which is a reference to Krampus. Actually, if you've seen the episode, you know why he has this chain, but some people might not have seen it yet. So yeah, he's got these big creepy looking arms and stuff. Alright, I know I've been talking about him for a while, but I'm just going to wrap up my thoughts here. He's got this little, like, red, ripped-up scarf. That was actually completely on accident. I wasn't trying to make it look all ripped up, but I accidentally just ripped it, and I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool. His head is the Nekten head. I've always really wanted to use this head for a multitude of characters, so I'm glad I finally got to put it to use with this character here. Very nasty, very evil looking. He's got the green antenna hanging out of his head there, which just add an extra look to him. The head can't really move all too much. That's about as high up as he can look, and then the head kind of just repositions itself. His actual head, yeah, okay, he can move his head a little bit, but it's because of the fact that like his like spine is kind of like tucked in there. It's all connected, and it's kind of limited. Like, he can't look up that much. That's about as high up as he can look, and like that's about as far down as he can look. So it's not the best range of posability, but it could be much worse. Obviously, he's got the Destroyer chestplate in there, which is a nice use of the colors. I really didn't want this guy to have black in the color scheme, but it's just a problem I had to work with because I didn't have very many parts at the time. Oh well. Overall, I think the Grank's kind of cool. He's weird, which is most of my mocks, but he's very strange looking, and he's got just, this is what you would imagine that a RENZO like Christmas villain would look like, so I think I did a decent job there. Obviously, the Grinch is associated with his pet Max. He's a little dog, so I decided to give the Grank a little friend. This is Yib. Yib's just a little alien. He's like a turtle hedgehog thing. I don't really even know. He's got this weird looking face with these bulging eyes. He's yellow. He has little tiny arms. He's got big old feet. He can probably curl up into a ball, but I never showed it. He's really simple and weird. He's got a little tie there. There really isn't much else to say. Just a little goober. I made him because I was like, oh, the Grank needs a little sidekick. He screams. When he talks, he goes like, he just like mumbles, and he screams a lot. That's Yib. Nothing else to say, really. So that was the Grank and Yib, two Mocs that are associated with Christmas. I really wanted to just kind of do a Christmas special this year, so I threw these two together, and I enjoy them quite a lot. They're very silly, they're very goofy, and I do eventually plan to return them. That's kind of the main reason I'm doing a review on them, is because I plan to bring them back in RENZO eventually. Kind of why again, if you've seen the special, you'll know that it says to be continued, or that the Grank will return. So yeah, I do plan to actually bring this character back for another time, these two characters anyways. They're very fun, but I don't feel like they really did much in the Christmas special. They didn't even have very much personality, so I'd plan to change that when they eventually return. You know me, I'm always trying to work with characters, always trying to get them to a better place in the story, always trying to work them around, you know. So yeah, anyways, this was the Grank and Yib. I hope you guys like this little review. This is probably going to be the last mock review for a while. I'm not going to stay till 2019. I don't think that's what's going to happen. There's probably going to be a couple more mock reviews, but this will be like the last major mock review until 2019. I think. We'll see about that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm RENZO Mocs, and Merry Christmas.